China and India reject U.S. demands to stop importing Russian oil. Trump prepares to play dirty. Russian intelligence reveals explosive information. NATO plans large-scale attack on shipping fleets. According to the Times of India, China and India ignored U.S. and Trump's threats to raise tariffs and forced them to stop buying Russian oil. China and India simply paid no attention to the U.S. and kept buying, even ramping up purchases. Now the U.S. is anxious and preparing to play dirty at sea. Trump slapped a 25% tariff on Indian goods and threatens additional penalties on India-Russia energy deals. He thought scaring India would make them kneel and beg for mercy, stopping their Russian oil purchases. Instead, the very next day, India slapped him. The Indian government made it clear that state-owned refineries would carry on as usual, continuing to buy Russian oil without reducing purchases by a single cent. Just the day before, Trump smugly said he'd heard India stopped buying Russian oil, but the very next day he got a resounding slap in the face. As for China, faced with American threats, they couldn't even respond, they just keep buying as usual. China and India are the two biggest customers for Russian oil. Without these two buyers, Russia's energy income would be cut in half. This US move didn't work, and it really made them anxious. Meanwhile, Russia is still fighting hard. In July alone, they launched over 6,000 drones at Ukraine. That number is already more than the total for all of 2024. Every day they're dropping 300 to 400 drones, and Ukraine's air defense systems just can't keep up. Russia is frantically ramping up production capacity. By year-end, they'll launch 2,000 drones daily. Each Geranium drone costs tens of thousands of dollars. They're way cheaper than missiles, but they're just as powerful. Ukraine simply can't stop them. You have to realize NATO's Patriot missiles will take 7 years to arrive, and the American air-to-air missiles will take 10 years to be fully delivered. That's just too little, too late. In this situation, the US and NATO have started to play dirty. Since they can't win head-on, they're resorting to underhanded tactics. According to Russian intelligence, NATO is plotting a sinister plan targeting the shadow fleet transporting Russian oil. Just hearing about this plan sends chills down your spine. They're planning to strike in key passages like the Strait of Malacca. Ukrainian special forces plan to disguise as crew and hide in cargo ships. As soon as a Russian oil tanker comes, they'll use unmanned boats to blow it up. Once the ship sinks, it will cause marine pollution. NATO will have a reason to send warships to protect maritime security, but in reality, they'll be seizing Russian oil tankers. This move not only cuts off Russia's income, but also gives them an excuse. Their targets are clear: the Strait of Malacca for China and the Indian Ocean for India. They want to cut off the energy supply lines of China and India, but they've miscalculated. China and India are not to be messed with. If you sabotage supply lines, don't blame China and India for being ruthless. Russia's military strength is evident. On the front lines, 1,000 drones are deployed against NATO daily. If the West dares to make a move at sea, Russia's counterattack will leave them reeling. This is a contest of great powers. The US seeks goals through sanctions and threats, but China and India stand firm, not buying it. Now the US stirs trouble at sea, blatantly spreading war from land to ocean. China and India's stance is clear: buying oil is legitimate business. America shouldn't boss others around. This tough stance protects their interests and reveals American hegemony. With China and India as major buyers, Russia's economy won't have short-term problems. Militarily, things are going smoothly, and with US sanctions failing, America can only consider more dangerous measures. But both China and India are standing firm, refusing to bow to hegemony. Trump is caught in a dilemma. The outcome of this energy war is about the future shape of the world order.